Hi, and welcome to the Business of Being a Virtual Assistant. I'm your host, Tiffany Parson, and you're watching and listening to episode number 265. I hope you had a great week in your business and in your life. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thanks so much for tuning in. This is where we talk about the real side of having a virtual assistant business. So today, I want to talk to you about money. Money is a tough topic. Money is something that people tend to get a little nervous about when it comes to their rates, when it comes to sending potential clients their rates. We tend to get nervous about money. And so I want to talk about it today for that very reason, because we tend to get nervous about the money. But it's one of those things that we all need. We need the money. The money keeps things going, and our clients want the money for their business. It keeps things going. Now, that should not be your motive for having a virtual assistant business. I'm going to tell you, if money is your motive, you might as well just shut down everything and go back to your 9 to 5, or continue your 9 to 5, or your 3 to 10, or 2 to 7, whatever it is, because this is a business. And like any businesses, it takes a while to grow. Businesses have their highs, they have their lows, but those who are in it for the right reasons stick to it in all seasons. Okay, so let's talk about money. This week, this week, I sent an RFP, and I was judging a client's pockets. And this is how. When I sent the RFP, I knew it was higher than they expected. Why do I say that? Well, I've worked with them before. In the discussion of what they wanted, I got the impression that they wanted a little something, not realizing that the little something they were asking for is big something. I'm sharing that with you because I don't want you to manipulate your numbers because of what you think is in someone else's pocketbook. I didn't manipulate the numbers. What I know is, if they come back and say, oh, this is too high, we weren't expecting it, we're good. The reason being is because the rate that I gave is the rate. And if it's too high, that's fine. We haven't lost anything. You haven't lost anything if someone comes back and says your rate is too high. However, if you knowingly go into something giving a rate that's lower than what you would normally charge, the rate makes it so that you're working for a lower amount than what you normally would, and they agree to it, you lose. Yes, you got the client. Yes, they pay the invoice. You lose. You lose because you gave them a low rate. You lowballed yourself. And now you got to do the work at a lowball rate. And you know it's a lowball rate. And every time you approach this project, every time you log on to something, you have to do something for this client, you know you lowballed yourself. You lose. Now, we only know what we know. If it's a service and this is your first time getting to provide a service for a client that's not you, you don't know. If it's a type of client that you've never worked with, You don't know. You can only work with what you know. So I'm here to tell you that in your calculation of your rate, give them the rate based on what you know about you and what it's going to take to get the job done. You know nothing about the client's pocketbook. You know nothing about it. We can speculate, we can judge, but you know nothing. The reality is you know nothing about it. You only know your side. So don't lowball yourself. Give the actual rate. Lowballing is you calculate the amount, you get to the final amount, and you're like, ooh. No, that's the rate. If it makes you uncomfortable, that's the rate. If it's too easy for you to just send off, that's not the rate. It's too easy. It's too easy. Now, if it's too easy because you've done it before and you know, yeah, this is it. Okay, fine. But if you're just getting started and you're like, oh, I'm not sure. No, think about what is involved every step of the way. How often you're going to talk to that client to get the information, the actual time it takes to do the job, the knowledge that you need going into that to get it done. All of those play a factor in addition to your expense of doing business. All of that goes into your rate. The last thing I want you to take away, and I've said it, I just want to repeat it. Don't lowball yourself. You will regret it. You will resent your client. You won't enjoy your work. Do not lowball yourself. So the next RFP you send, the next discovery call you're on, keep that in mind. And if this is your first time listening, I do not recommend giving rates in discovery calls. It is strictly for discovery. You haven't discovered what they need in order to give a rate in that same moment. Every single time I've ever given a rate on the spot, it was a low ball. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do that. We'll be here every Saturday with more. I want to thank you so much for watching and for listening. You have a wonderful and fantastic day.